Hey everyone, Bozak here once again, and it is time to start Battle 3. So, here we are on the road to Alterone. So as usual, let's take a look at what the map looks like. You have enemies spread all over the place, because of course this time we are going north. You have a new enemy type over here. I'm going to be getting into that in a little bit. And there's some spread out over here, Dark Dwarves, Bats, and 5 Rune Knights up here. Yes, the toughest enemy in the game, they decided to throw 5 at us right before this final city. Now, unlike your main character, the other characters can actually walk around on these towns without any cause for retreat, and you can actually stack them around. You can't do that with your main character, however. So don't even try. Second of all, I'm going to get to these guys in a little bit. Because they are actually somewhat important. So, anyway, let's get to something that I wanted to talk about, and probably should have talked about in the last battle, because it was actually pertinent in the last battle. Not so much in these next two, but instead of waiting until it actually becomes relevant again in Chapter 2, since it's a major part of the battle system, I might as well introduce it and talk about it now, and that is land effects. I've mentioned land effects. Land effects, like in other strategy games, provide extra defense, but they can also slow your movement down a little bit. You have 3 percentages. A space will either have a land effect of 0, 15, or 30%. The higher the percentile, the more likely it's going to slow you down, but also the better protected you are. Okay, so this battle introduces a new enemy type, the Giant Bat. Really, overall, it's kind of strange because it's a yes-no thing. You should worry about them, and you should not worry about them. They really are not tough enemy types. They're not going to do a lot of damage. In fact, they're doing 2 now. I think there'll be some characters they'll do 4 to. Most of the time, they'll do 2 damage or 1. By this point, anyway, they should be doing 2 damage or 1. The thing is, they can sometimes put your characters to sleep. And this can really be a problem because that character can't move while they're asleep. And that makes them a sitting duck. And also, it can slow your party down. So, really, the thing is, the giant bats are not problems, they're just more nuisances. How I consider it is the enemy you really have to worry about on this map is the Rune Knights, other than that, the giant bats. So Dark Dwarves are pretty much standard, and then you have, giant bats next. Now right here, I was trying to decide what to do with Teo. I thought about attacking the giant bat over here, but you know what? I didn't want to put her all the way out here, so I thought better of it and thought, you know what? Let's just put her back until she's actually useful. So, getting back to the giant bats. Characters you're going to want to watch out for in order is least important. The characters that the ones that will be giving you the least problems will probably be Dark Dwarves. They're the lowest priorities. Giant bats are one of the next highest priorities. You kind of want to take them out early, just because they can set you up for something nasty. And you do not want to fight the Rune Knights until last if you absolutely have to. Now this battle, with the whole 1 HP thing, with me trying to get Lowe and Teo up an extra level, which I think Lowe is actually going to gain a level here, this is the battle that gets me into the most trouble. I put myself in some situations early on that I probably shouldn't have. And it's a miracle I didn't lose any more characters than I actually did in this battle. I opened myself up for some really major situations, and it's a wonder I didn't get myself killed. Definitely not doing this again, but you will be probably looking at times when I'll put my characters at risk, and you'll wonder why in the world I do that. It's the whole 1 HP thing. I was a little cocky at this point because, you know what? It's a beginning battle. So I figured, hey, get the XP. So there's some really poor judgment decisions here, and this is the battle where I thought better of this whole practice afterwards. I've never done this before, but it's just the fact I want to get my magic users up. Like I said, Teo and Lowe especially. So, now things are happening. There's a whole lot of movement and a whole lot of other crap going on. Right now, I'm going to be moving Kin into range, but he's in range of 3 Dark Dwarves. So, I'm actually questioning at this point which one to attack. I can attack the one Gort's attacking or the one May's attacking. I decided to attack the one that no one is. Because, you know what, Kin's a big boy, Kin can take the damage, and you know what, might as well prep him, because that way Kin makes himself a target. Yes, Kin can actually handle it. And no one else can get to it, and according to my battle philosophies at that moment, they would be flanked, so no one else could get to that character. So, pretty standard tactics for me. So, anyway, I'm doubling up on attacking creatures now. I'm trying to keep my main character out as far as back, but as also in support as much as I possibly can. Pretty decent battle strategies. Flank when you can, or don't. Flank when you can, and try to keep your main character out of as much danger as possible. Right here, I'm checking stats of different the 2 Dark Dwarves, because I didn't want to waste my magic. So I decided to see how much HP each one had, and I picked the one with the most HP. I also didn't want to waste magic ability. So in the case of the 2nd Dark Dwarf, he had 5, which is about on that cusp of where I really don't want to waste Blaze. So in order not to waste Teo's ability, I just wanted to check their stats. Trust me, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this as we get into later and later battles, because for me, this is important. I won't be as reckless coming out of Chapter 1. I'll be starting to get into more of my typical patterns. Because other than that, Chapter 1 is just easing you into the battle system. The more dangerous crap starts to happen about, too. So, also, this is, in this battle, what's going on is, I was more winging it with post-commentary in the past few videos. And, well, before I get to that, there's no judgment decision. I decided to keep back, because overall, it's better to actually protect your long-range characters. Keep them back as much as possible and try not to expose them. That's what they do. They attack long range, so keep them back. But like I said, the other post-commentary videos, I was doing post-commentary, I was kind of winging it. This time, I have actually, decided to watch a little bit closer and jot down some notes. So I have made some little talking points about things I noticed and things I wanted to cover, just so that I'm just not going whatever most of the time. That way I can actually kind of stay on point and try to cover things at a decent rate. I'm actually have plenty of time so far, so I'm going to have plenty of time to talk about a lot of what I want to talk about. So I'm going to see if this works. Because it might be something to keep me on track, to help me keep focused, to just jot down what I'm noticing, and then I can just keep on going. It'll probably help it feel a little more cohesive as it may be. Also, while I'm at it, let's just talk about. I might as well discuss why I decided to do this project post-commentary in the first place. Because yes, I probably could have done this live. I could have done live commentary, and you would probably got more emotion me yelling at the TV screen if I was doing post-commentary. But the thing is, this is a strategy RPG, which means that there may be some battles where I actually fail the battles. I'll get the XP from the battles, but I may actually fail the battles. And that means that I'm not going to show those failed battles, because when you get into... we aren't into standard battle links now. one of the things I've noticed is that in Chapter 1, the battles kind of got longer and longer and longer. We're still not really at kind of standard battle length. A typical battle can last about half an hour, which, if it lasts how it typically lasts, I'm not really speeding anything up half an hour. I figure you guys want to watch the battles in the first place, so there you go. However, if it gets extremely long, and I actually have decided what that length is, if I deem it's too long, I will basically be speeding some battles up. But I want to try to keep the battles together as much as I possibly can. So, what I decided is, since there'll be battles later in the game that I'll have to repeat multiple times, it would get tiresome to continuously do live commentary, especially if I say something important and then I have to repeat it. It's much better, especially for a tactics game, to discuss your decisions and various aspects of certain battles after the fact. You can be a little bit more level-headed. You can kind of even examine your moves like I'm doing now, saying, okay, this is a dumb decision. It doesn't really work so much when you're doing live commentary, because it would get tiresome. There are especially battles, and well, for example, there's a battle in Chapter 4 I'm really not looking forward to, because in my opinion, it is the hardest battle of the game. And some of the later battles, especially in Chapter 8, Chapter 7, oh man, I would not want to be doing I would not want to do live commentary. So, also live commentary, one of the bad problems with live commentary is it's distracting. So, post commentary is really ideal for a strategy RPG. Now, that being said, I'm going to be focusing on this little tactic here. We have two groups left. We have 3 giant bats, and we have 3 Rune Knights. Like I said, giant bats on the problem. But the thing is, if we go for the Rune Knights first, the giant bats will swoop in and can cause havoc. So I'm going for them first for 2 reasons. Number 1, I really don't want to mess with the Rune Knights as of yet. And number 2, if I get them out of the way now, I won't have to deal with them when I actually have to attack the Rune Knights. So, what I'm doing is I'm moving as far north and west as possible to keep away from the Rune Knights, because what's going to happen is if you're a little bit on the cusp and a little bit too close, the Rune Knights might decide to come attack you anyway. And since they are still uber tough at this point, it's not a good idea. Also, here's what I mean by putting you to sleep. This is problematic, because what happens is when you sleep, you cannot attack and you cannot move until your character wakes up. And when your character wakes up, that wastes the whole turn. So, also one of the things you notice is that Rune Knight spotted me. So, we have a Rune Knight heading my way, and my main character's asleep, and the giant bats are coming. This is not good. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the giant bats out of the way as fast as I possibly can, so I can focus on the Rune Knight. The thing is, we're already being set up for a problematic situation. I mean, it may look like I have things under control right now, but the problem is with this battle with the bats and the Rune Knights. If the Rune Knights are coming in while you're facing the bats, things can spiral out of control quickly, and there's nothing you can do about it. Especially since Rune Knights are still heavy hitters, and if your health is low, they can one-shot you, and if they double hit you, that kills pretty much anybody. And now, to make things worse, they put kin to sleep. If you let this go on too long, and they put most of the people in your party to sleep, you are sitting ducks. So I have 2 characters asleep. So I'm trying to deal with this as quickly as possible. Try to double up on enemy, try to double up on the giant bats. Even though the Rune Knight's a problem, giant bats are my number 1 priority. And I've also placed May. I had May attack the giant bat with Kin right there, and I thought about maybe moving her, but I kept her where she is because I know for a fact that enemies tend to like to go after your main character, and that especially goes for Rune Knights, and my main character cannot take the hit right now. So May not only is attacking the giant bat, she is playing bodyguard. So I'm doing my absolute best to get rid of these guys. Is it going to work out? Well, let's see. See, now we have two going. Two going at us. And unfortunately, we're going to lose May right here because she's weak and hardly anybody can take too much damage from the Rune Knights. They're essentially like boss characters at this point, and they throw 5 of them at you in this battle. So I definitely want my healer to heal my main character. Also, as far as May dying, not too sad about that. She played a pivotal role. She kept the Rune Knight from my main character, which would have been it's a loss for the battle. Your main character dies, battle's over. You have to restart from scratch. You get your experience, but that's about it. Now here's the problem. We have 2 bats still alive, and we have a Rune Knight at our doorstep. This is not good. This is me pretty much panicking because if anything goes wrong, I'm dead. So I'm trying to get characters that double up. I'm trying to free Ken. I'm trying to get things help. I know my main character can take 1 hit. He can't take a double hit, but he can take 1. And I have healers behind him to keep him alive. But the problem is you have bats, and they're not really going to help matters out a whole lot. So I'm trying to get rid of the bat problem. And so, like right here, I'm trying to target the strongest bat that everybody's kind of targeting. Which is wise. I could kill either bat. But the thing is, that was problematic in one aspect. Because that bat is still alive. However, it's a good thing my healer, that Lowe, healed my main character, because now I'm alive. And of course, I'm always sweating bullets at this point, because I do not want him to double hit me. Because, you know, I never really like to play battles over again, especially when I'm recording. So, this is big for me. And I'm trying to get help out of everything. Now, because I didn't kill this bat, Ken is going to get killed. Unfortunately, that's the bad part. They put Ken to sleep, Ken couldn't do anything, and he got double teamed. So we still have a bat on the loose. We have 2 Rune Knights on our doorstep. So first things first is we need to get rid of the giant bat. We get rid of this nuisance, this battle becomes a little bit easier. It's still difficult because we have 2 essentially boss characters, you might as well say, just sitting there. Little do we know that much harder enemy types are going to be coming up later on. And just the fact that this is the last, like I think I've said this before, this is the last battle where the Rune Knights really are as much of a problem. There are Rune Knights in the next battle, but by that point, you're really going to be able to take care of them. They're not going to pose as much of a threat. However, here, they pretty much are your heavy hitters, your one-shotters, and you should still be scared of these guys. Good thing is, I wasn't making mistakes I was making earlier on in the battle, and I'm like, you know what, even though he has 1 HP, I want to get rid of him now, which is a generally good idea. So now we need to protect our main character at all costs, get rid of the Rune Knights. So yeah, 5 Rune Knights. This will probably be the part of the battle that makes you sweat bullets. The rest of it is not bad. It's just the fact that they throw 5 of these guys at you at once. So because of that, as of the last battle, you can actually have a second victory condition. If you can get your main character into Alterone, you automatically win the battle. So keep that in mind. If things are not going your way with the Rune Knights, get your main character into the city as fast as you possibly can. Also, some of that experience stuff paid off. Teo has Blaze level 2. We're going to be showing this off later on this battle. But, real quickly, I'm going to explain what I'm doing right here. I could move my characters forward and get ready to fight the last 3 Rune Knights. The problem is, my main character is still asleep. Stupid bats. So, instead of moving my characters forward, I am waiting until he wakes up. Albeit now. Now that he's woken up, it's time to move the characters forward. And this is also good because I can keep my main character in the back. So, there we go. Now, here's the thing. Since we're moving our characters forward now, the Rune Knights are going to move down. So now it's just a question of who gets to who first. By this point, it's not so much in this playthrough, but I normally have playthroughs at this point where I have run out of healing magic. You know, I'm running low on magic. So at this point, I run an all hands on deck policy, which is don't worry about it, don't retreat, just run and gun and hope you can kill them before they can kill you. If you can try to position your healers so they can heal your main attackers. Try to flank the Rune Knights, but keep in mind, if you retreat, you're probably dead. Especially if like me, you have lost members of your force. Now, real quickly, let's talk about Blaze Level 2, because we're going to be singing a little bit. Blaze Level 2, as I mentioned before, is a multi-hitter. What happens is it has the same distance requirements as Blaze Level 1. You have to be at least one square back. Well, you can do it when you're right next to them, but it's best to use it long range. Okay? What you do is normally what would be the target of your one hit is you target them, and then the radius, one on either side of them, gets targeted as well. So on its best day, Blaze Level 2 can hit 5 people. So basically you pick a target and you hit the ones on either side, on each side of the target. So like I said, this is an all hands on deck policy. I try to, as much as I can, protect my main character and to keep from getting flanked. That's actually more what that is. I don't want Gort to have 2 Rune Knights on either side. So even though he's extremely damaged, instead of sending him back to a healer, I just have him protect my main character, and I just have him attack at all costs, and hope that he survives. At this point, I'm like, you know what? If I survive this battle, I'll just revive them when I get back into Alterone. So, this is one of those battles where at the end, you're just keeping your fingers crossed. I've done this every single time. Now, it's still an easy battle. I have gone through Chapter 1 multiple times, without losing any characters. Is it easy? No. This battle is the one that's going to give you the most problems with losing characters. And like I said earlier, enemy priorities, if they can't get your main character, most of the time they see a magic user open, whether it's a mage or one of your healers, they will go for them. So, luckily, Teo wasn't killed. Later on, chances are, if an enemy gets to one of your magic users, they're dead. Is that the case all the time? Not really. And here we are using Blaze Level 2. So you kind of get to see that before you end the battle. And that's actually how we're going to end the battle. So guys, I've shown has been Battle 3. Next time we're going to check out Alterone. It is an awesome place, let me tell you that. A lot of cool stuff. So until then guys, I am Bolzak, signing out.